For decades, companies have been playing mind games with us, and as a result, the gifts we buy and the food we eat has actually been eating into our pocketbooks. In all seriousness, it should come as no surprise that modern advertising as we know it has shaped our society. A lot of our daily decisions and life choices are influenced in part by advertising itself. I mean, think about it. It's become such a deep-rooted constituent of our established norm that a world without it would seem, frankly, strange. This is because barely a moment goes by during our day when we aren't bombarded with advertisements in some form or the other. Posters, billboards, flyers, TV commercials, internet ads. They all creep into our personal space and tell us exactly what we should buy and who we should be. For now, our only brief escape from our role as potential consumers comes to us during sleep. But who knows for how long? Looking at you, billionaires. What's important to know is that the purpose of advertising isn't limited in its capacity to harass us into parting with our hard-earned cash. Advertising plays a traditional role in helping businesses reach prospective customers and vice versa. Without it, we would not know where to look for a particular product or service we need. I mean, without advertising, we wouldn't even know what we wanted in the first place. Yet, in our present-day, technologically driven lives, the reach between producer and consumer has grown significantly smaller. With lots of numerous media platforms and channels available to us, a simple online search can take us to a list of providers able to satisfy our every want. Our dilemma today comes from the form of not knowing which product to choose from one out of the many available to us. Now, this is where good advertising comes into play. In a saturated market, subtle differences can make the distinction between the choice of one product over another. There are typically two modes of advertising that ad agencies and marketing gurus utilize. One focuses on the qualities of the product, and the other seeks to arouse an emotional response from the intended audience. The moment you start to think about advertisements that have stood out to you in the recent past, there's a high probability that they incorporated the latter. And there's a good reason for this. Now, that just begs the question, why should you choose one product over another? Well, of course, that decision becomes easy when you develop an affinity with a particular brand. It could be something as small as an aesthetically appealing logo design, the smell of popcorn at a theater, or a catchy jingle such as 800-588-2300 Empire. Something that resonates with you and feels calming. The right colors and appropriate typography all matched in harmony for a well-packaged product. But advertising goes beyond a well-thought-out logo or attractive packaging. In fact, the most successful ad campaigns hardly say anything about the product itself, but instead create a lucid atmosphere that evokes a strong emotion from its target consumer. Like, take this Giorgio Armani, or Giorgio Armani for the French, perfume commercial for example. It doesn't even try to communicate the features of their product. They rely solely on provoking particular feelings and associations with their perfume. In fact, the only mention of the perfume itself isn't even until the last 6 seconds of the 1-minute ad. That means 90% of the marketing is only trying to indirectly connect wires in your brain to associate their perfume with tropical waterfalls and what seems like ethereal beauty. Advertising that caters to our feelings primarily resonates with our subconscious mind and not our conscious mind. It's why we sometimes can't rationally deduce our preference for certain brands or our ability to pay a premium for a product we can't tell apart from its competitors. If we're drawn to it simply because of what it evokes inside of us and the associations that come with it, then rest assured, the marketing department has done their research. They're really trying to feed off of what we feel we lack in our deficiencies, just so they can make us believe that we can mask them with a new and exciting identity that can only be achieved with their product. I don't know though. It's just a theory. Thanks, Miss Popper.